as this very well might be the last session of this before we tie it off. So, are we ready to get started, everybody?
I've already hit record, so let's hope so.
Okay. What, have you already hit record? Well, fucking, it's ruining me intro. God damn it.
Boo fucking who. Get on with it.
I would edit it, but I'm far too lazy. Anyway, welcome back, everyone, to more Apocalypse World. We are back after another week, and it's looking like today might be the last one, because we are tying everything down. Last session to catch everyone up. Nikita had a heart-to-heart with Smokey and has sort of reassured him that he is who he is now, and he is needed, and that everything that happened is not his fault. Everyone had some good chatting and some good role play together, while Jimmy was just having a very, very well deserved nap
after 500 years of torture.
Yes. You've actually woken up. You are. I mean, what is Jimmy's mindset right now after last session? Because you did have a good chat with the others, and you have kind of recentered yourself. You have not, surprisingly, not gone insane. So that's good.
I imagine dissociation is like a stone's throw away. Like he's a delicate balance right now. I don't know if it will shift one way. I don't know if he'll settle and be fine. Who's rolling shit?
That's me. Don't worry
about it. Shit. Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, no, I could see it's bring it to the cyberpunk thing, developing cyber psychosis. Probably not a grandiose sense of self, maybe need for stimulation because obviously I'm not feeling anything. Lack of remorse or guilt, callousness, lack of empathy, impulsivity, failure to accept responsibility. It might go in some of those directions, it might not.
Yeah.
I will
clear some things. Yeah, I will clear some things up about Jimmy's new existence, but you are essentially getting used to your new form. You aren't completely clockwork, but a good sizable chunk of you is. Towards the end of the session, after a conversation between Helga and Jericho, Helga gave you a book. You had a brief flick through this, and you found an embossed image, a few stylized images known with the embossed title of the Deity's Balance. Surrounding this is lots of fucking mad scrawlings, because this is a book that previously belonged to the shaman, and as he was 2/3 insane, a lot of it is fairly unintelligible, even though Jericho can read it. Deciphering the exact meaning behind this is going to be tricky.
Does it also have little scrawlings in the margin saying "get milk" and stuff like that?
Yes, it it's very disjointed. You cannot read this book back to front in any manner because it's fucking all over the place. If you flick to a few other pages, there's no through thread. It's just everything seems to be written down seemingly at random. But this particular image does seem very important because the notes around the side describe a balance being maintained by forces that have been brought into this world by the Maelstrom, and these forces toy with humanity. They're always constantly vying for control of humanity, for control of this world, but the sort of infighting between all of them keeps them all in balance. And there seems to be one overarching thing, which is talk in the book of one power rising up and then getting beaten back down to be level with the others, and another one rising up, getting beaten back down to be level with the others. The thing that's constantly beating them back down is known as the Guardian. And if you share this knowledge with the others, this does kind of click something in Nikita and Jimmy. Because, especially Nikita, you have seen the Guardian.
Oh, when I was talking to Smokey.
When you were talking
to
Smokey,
it wasn't actually fucking Smokey.
Yes. Mm. It seems that Smokey is connected to the Guardian in some way, though it's going to take a little bit of figuring out the exact nature of that. However, are you going to continue reading the book, or are you going to stow it away for later reading?
Sorry, are we driving?
No. You You are not driving at the moment. You are still like in the town. You have yet to set out.
I will tell anyone who's listening that I think this book is important. I will explain what I've said, what you've said, and then I will probably, unless someone else says otherwise, stow it away. And if we get on the road, I might read it while, say, Jimmy's driving or something.
Cool. All right. What is so? Yeah, we'll free this up for everyone else. Around about this point, because you've had to basically spend a day, like an entire day, recuperating. So it is getting towards like late afternoon, early night time at the moment. So it looks like you might have to like bed down here for the night. Otherwise, you're going to be driving in the dark.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Is there anything anyone wants to do in particular?
I want to go inspect these cars down the bottom.
Okay.
Yes, so do I.
Okay.
Particularly
Jimmy
the red
Nikita.
one.
Are we going to be looking at the red one first?
Well, I am.
Yes, we shall look together. Actually, we probably should bring Rasp as well. Rasp is a minor driver, is she not?
Yeah, I'll come
Yeah,
with me
Rasp,
then.
come along.
Any experienced driver knows that red cars are the best.
Red cars are always
Red
the
cars
is
are
red
indeed
cars.
faster. This is a known fact.
It is not.
Those of you who are doing that, move yourselves over to the cars.
I'm already there.
Where am I? Here I am.
Where am I hiding?
I'm going to double check Ross can actually move herself. Yes, she can.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
there
sorry.
always seems to be an issue.
I am
Just-
one with the
just-
machine.
Just doesn't like Rasp.
I don't know why that happens because it's not like a fucking chain
It's
of
alright.
settings between games.
I think I may have sorted Roll20 out the other day because Vix was like, make sure the graphics are sorted, and I did.
Nice. Okay, so those of you that are doing that, make
Yeah,
sharp
yeah.
rolls for
Well
me
done.
on the car. Let's see what condition this thing is in.
Sharp.
Sharp.
Yeah, I got a phone.
Rolling sharp.
Yeah. I am over my character sheet. Balls. It's your fault, Tom.
Well, all I hear
It's
is
not my
Jesus.
fault.
It fucking well is.
All I
Fuck
hear
you, it is.
Jesus Vix.
Can I have a re-roll, please?
Yeah, she can have a reroll.
Nah.
Thank
You're
you.
like- You dare use my own spells against me, Potter?
Nice.
Yeah.
1A and ooh.
Well,
are you going to
apparently,
re-roll that one,
I
or are
see
you going
fuck
to
all.
keep? Nikita, you are not familiar with vehicles in any way, shape, or form. It is a car. It goes from. That's all you can
I see
make
that
out.
it is red.
Yeah.
What do I imagine? Just Nikita getting to the driver's seat and just holding the steering wheel and going like, "Yes, this works." Me and Ross were just looking at each other, just like, "All right, let's just leave it to it."
That's a car there, Chief. For you two, Ross, you think the car is in pretty good nick. It's a bit battered and, it hasn't been very well maintained, but it'll probably
buff
run.
It'll buff out.
Jimmy, with that roll, you pop the hood and you notice that this car has been very poorly maintained, and you do notice that the radiator is slightly busted. And because of your knowledge of cars, you know that if you run this thing if you drive it for, say, more than 3 or 4 hours, the radiator is going to burst, flood the engine, and it's going to be fucking useless. So it's probably a good idea to fix that before you move on. But the rest of the car's perfectly fine.
Okay. Before I do that, I'm going to check the other car, because if I can swap pieces over without doing too much mechanical, then if this one's useless...
As you got a successful pass, odds or evens for me?
Evens, please.
Yes. Okay. Let's bring up my loot tables. Not you. I don't like you. This one.
You are bad, loot table.
Why is it not showing anything? That's very strange. Right, let's see. You find 3 cans of a mysterious substance, a box of what you presume to be dried instant noodles.
Very nice.
Oh, yes, you've managed to find some foodstuffs.
Some what, sir?
You find some foodstuffs, and you also find random bits and pieces of junk, old teddy bears, broken mugs, a few bits and pieces that you could used for barter, so you get like 3 extra barter with that as well. You know,
I can
it's
actually write that down. My goodness.
I know. I'm giving you stuff. Let's see.
Oh God, I have 13 barter. How the?
You guys have a lot of barter. You guys are actually pretty rich.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, for like the apocalypse world and the state you're in, you guys are pretty well minted.
Yeah, this is going to be enough to build up a town.
Mm-hmm. So, yep.
Spoilers.
You go to inspect the other car. Everyone inspecting the other car.
I mean, I'm probably not going to be much help, but fuck it, let's go.
Yeah. Do your sharp rolls.
It's a brown car. Oh, there we go. Why can't I do it on the other one?
Yeah.
Motherfuckers.
Rolling for the next one. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Did you? Thank you. Just roll, damn you.
Roll, damn you, roll. Mm-hmm. Ross, are you going to be looking at the other car as well?
Yeah, I'll look at the other car. So another sharp, yeah?
Why not? Yeah.
If it lets me. If it lets me. Because fucking mouse doesn't want to be out. There is. Click. Click. I'm not sure if I clicked that twice. So sorry. Oh, apparently not at all, because it's meant to come up with a thing, isn't it? Stupid.
Very peculiar. On my loot table, it's not working.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, this one seems to be in actually very good nick. This car. This
Nice.
one is a bit more like built up, and is like the previous car you looked at was like built for like speed and like ramming things. This one is built like a fucking tank. It's covered in this like metal plating has been like nailed to every available surface. This thing looks like it could take a punch from the tack attacker and still keep going.
It's a baby tack-attacker.
This little structure on the back here, that's actually like an ad hoc like turret mount. There's no gun on it currently, but a gun could be feasibly attached to the top of it.
Very nice.
It's got a little turret mount. You do find, let's see, who got the highest? Nikita got the highest. Odds or evens for Nikita?
Odds. Oh,
You find a toolbox and a whole bunch of spare parts. Enough parts to completely repair both cars and any injuries that Tack Attacker has
Well,
taken.
I was going to say, I'd just be like, just pass it straight to me, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So, there you go.
Thank you very
I
much.
found the things. Now you can
We
fix
shall
the
use
other
the
things.
Let's see.
All right, let's get these two fixed, and we'll add them to the convoy. That way we can space out the people, make it a bit more defensible,
Does that
and
mean I
people
get
can have
my
a bit more
very
space.
I get my very
Can you
own-
drive?
I mean, I've driven before.
You do find something else as well. You find a dud bomb collar.
Oh, dang.
A what?
A
A
bomb
dud
collar,
bomb
but it's a
collar.
dud.
Like
So you
for like a slave or something.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
I heard totally different. Sorry.
Oh my
Full
god.
collar. Excuse me, sir.
Meow.
Yep, that is all you find in that car. So you get to work fixing the cars.
Yep.
I'm going to do a roll to see how long that takes. Where the fuck have my dice gone? There's the dice. Let's see. Ooh, that's going to take a little while. It's going to take probably about 3 or 4 hours for you to get the red car fixed and to get them both working perfectly.
Okay, well, I imagine with some help with Rasp and Jericho, we could get that done a bit quicker.
Yeah, I'm not good at fixing things.
Well, you're on
Unless it
defense
involves
anyway.
killing people.
You're on defense anyway, so you're going to be up high, just keeping an eye out, just in case Jericho, Jacobacca wants to make a resurgent appearance or something.
In case Jericho, no, you had it right the first time.
Jericho tries to shoot something and accidentally shoots me in the back.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that would have been a good one if the ultimate plot twist for this campaign was I've been conspiring with Alex the entire time.
No, we've already had that with Tony, Chris.
Yeah, that's true.
Way
Tony.
back when.
Uh.
Yeah,
Well,
last
Jericho's
trip we were
not coming back. So if you want to make him a bad guy, you go straight ahead.
Mm. Okay. Yeah. You get to
Don't wanna
work
make him
fixing the
bad guy.
car. So, what did I do for fixing the car last time? I believe I did half the rules.
Well, I'm gonna leave you guys fucking alone. I'm gonna go sit up on top of this billboard and chill.
Gonna go relax.
Fuck you guys.
Say your snorks join you. They're gonna clamber up and join you.
My baby
She
snorks,
pops
but our
up
baby
and she
snorks
just
anymore.
goes through a barter and opens up a can of cola.
Nope, they're
Coca-Cola.
flares.
Can-
The flare conveyor.
Just cause I'm feeling mischievous, can one of my snorks sneak up behind Alex?
These are
God.
flayers.
Mind
Now, aren't
flayers.
they?
No.
Yeah, can one of
Yeah.
the flayers sneak up behind Alex so he shits himself?
You know what?
Fuck's sake.
You can send the flare to do it. I'm gonna see how successful it is.
Okay.
The flare conveyor.
Jericho, you hear this thing coming a mile away.
Oh, that's no
You can tell that,
fun.
like kind of, you just hear like clatter, clatter, scrape, scrape, clatter, clatter, and like you kind of glance over your shoulder and like you see it like go to like duck behind a box. It clearly doesn't understand how big it is, so it goes to duck behind the box, but the box only covers like 2/3 of its mass. And
I think-
you hear it, and you hear a very, very faint.
I think if Jericho is still near Helga, he's going to try and impress her. And what he's going to do is he's going to wait until she, the flayer, gets just behind her, and then he's just going to, without even turning, he's just going to hold out like his stun gun behind him and say, "Just try me, big man. Just try me. Get back to your mom."
Try me, bitch.
Do a hot roll for me.
Oh, I will laugh if you fell.
Now I have an audience, so I get +1 to this.
Oh, damn it.
Snort comes up behind you, and Helga kind of sees it, and she goes to like reach for her like kind of blade, but you toss her a the most rakish winks, and as it rears up behind you and just goes, it draws in a breath to like basically jump you. You just quick as a flash, stun gun out underneath the arm, up under its rib cage, and go, "Try me, big man." And it goes, and it kind of like just
Slinks off.
it just kind of like stumbles off and just kind of comes back very, very sheepishly to Nikita. And let's just say the atmosphere inside the cabin has got decidedly moist. Yes.
For now, because if he's still engaged with like fixing things, he's just going to give her just a kind of side eye waggle of the eyebrows, and then get back to
I mean, well, my plan might have failed, but it was still very fucking amusing from
Oh,
her
no, I
standing
like
Oh
point.
no, the plan was
Nice.
successful, just not for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of as you walk out, it's just a. You leave the room. Nikita, Helga's blushing furiously. As you walk away, you hear like whispered conversation between the women of the tribe and several giggles.
the charisma stats have increased.
Oh,
Just
dear.
like Smokey's just kind of like hanging out with his with his displacer beast. So to kind of have you walking away, you just hear him. You just hear a void facing in your mind. It's like, "I saw what you did there. That was smooth."
Nice.
So, for the rest of you, Rasp and Jimmy, you see walking with just a new badass, like a newfound badass, I'm the sexiest motherfucker that's ever walked the planet Air, is Jericho approaching you, offering to fix the cars.
Oh,
Hey.
that,
Oh, I
took-
thought I already was.
that took a completely different route than I was expecting.
Really did, didn't
Just took a turn.
it?
This is really fucking God damn.
He's not going to milk it, so he'll calm
Oh,
No, that's Helga's job.
as you say.
Oh, ew.
I'm not sorry.
No,
I mean,
Shouldn't be.
accurate,
I am
but
not
still,
apologising.
give yourself some.
I'm
Give
not
yourself experience.
apologising.
Okay, those of you fixing the car, make hard rolls for me.
No, it's too easy.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same.
Well, since Jericho's already hard.
Can I have a reroll, please?
I would
Yes.
like to seduce
Thank
the
you.
car in my current state.
I would like to seduce the vehicle.
Normally, it's Jimmy that
There you
seduces the
go.
vehicle.
Okay,
My
apparently I'm taking it a bit easy just so Jericho could look like the sexiest man alive.
Okay, so as the repairs go on, Jimmy damn near breaks the whole fucking thing, but you do manage
Just
to get
because I'm
repaired.
giggling about the whole thing.
Yeah, like I'm gonna say you are still getting used to like using your hands. Like you're still getting used to that power you have, where you can basically materialize. Like you can materialize any tool you've like assimilated into yourself. So you're still getting used to that. You go to like I don't know. You go to get like a 2/3 spanner, and it gives you like a 1/3, and you almost like fucking screw one of the bolts, and it almost breaks the whole thing. But you manage to get a hang of it, and yeah, you have fixed the red car. It is all ready and raring to go. I'm going to give you a little bit of information about both of these cars. So, have notebooks or things ready to be noted down. This car, the red one, it is fast, but it is not very durable.
But is it furious?
And
Fast, but
it can only suit. It can only seat 2 people.
Well,
Okay.
So that's Jericho and Helga's car then, yeah?
I mean,
The
despite
love
the fact that it
machine.
looks like it seats about 5.
it's the
But
love
yes.
machine, I guess
Well,
you could say.
it can seat 2 people, but you're going to be a little bit. You're going to inspect the back area. You notice that the back area is like it's like an SUV type thing.
Is it waterbed?
All the back seats have been like completely ripped out, and along the roof, in the middle, is like a series of chains hanging down from the roof.
oh
So
my.
this is almost like a prisoner transport type thing.
Very kinky.
Yes.
Definitely Jericho and Helga's.
Definitely
the other
Jericho
vehicle.
Helga Lovemobile.
The other vehicle is a bit slower. It will go about as fast as the Taka will, but it's extremely up armored. Like this thing could take a very significant hit before it starts to break down, and it will be perfectly fine over rough terrain. The other car, however, the red car, is going to be a bit sketchy on rough terrain, so you're going to want to be a bit careful driving that, like over a fucking cliff or some shit. I don't know what you guys are going to do.
I imagine most of these things you have to be careful driving over a cliff.
Yes. Well, I don't know what the fuck you guys are going to do. I'm surprised you have Dukes of Hazzard the fucking Taka over a ravine.
No.
That was the anomaly, wasn't it?
Who knows? We might have. It's been a while.
So yeah, that is both cars repaired. Because of how long this has taken you a few hours now. What's that for? So, yeah. It's now very much into night time. Mr. Guardman, you've taken up your post. All the Wolfvale survivors are chilling out in the cabin with Helga. No, I'm going to say Helga's outside. She's chilling with the guards to make sure they're okay, because one of them nearly fucking died last
Because
session.
he was a fucking idiot.
We're going to have, let's see. We're going to have
Snake
displaced
bird.
as you guys kind of like come back into the camp area, you notice the displacer beasts have like gone. Like you cannot find them; they've disappeared. Smokey is sort of like chilling out by the fire, and he's like stirring like a big pot of like I don't know questionable meat stew. Like the don't ask questions where we get this protein from meat. That's all ready for you guys to eat. Are you going to be bringing the cars inside the compound, or are you going to leave them there?
Bring him in.
You're going to bring
Yeah.
them.
I like to think with
Can't
the rolls, those that's what Nikita does when she's behind the wheels. She
Yeah.
just sits there making brum brum noises.
This is where we find out the car's actually being towed by the tacker.
Park the red one
I'm not
there.
exactly. Nikki's not exactly there for smash. She's there for the murdering. That's what she's good at. That is the only thing she's good at.
You just see Jericho and Helga's car going up and down. That thing's got good hydraulics. That's the hydraulics, mate.
Nikita, are you going to be up on the billboard for the night, or are you going to join everyone inside?
Should probably join everyone for food and then go back up for watch up there because it's a good vantage point.
You know what? I'm going to roll a dice. Very nice. This is one of the best meals you've had in a while. It's been very quick fare for like the last few days because you've been on the road. But now you've had time to kind of slow down. The people of Wolfvale have done a bit of hunting while you guys have been doing your thing. So they've managed to source some meat, and they had some some supplies they got from the village as well. So this is the first properly decent meal you guys have had a chance to have for quite some time. So it is well appreciated. You are, I imagine. Oh no! In actual fact, Mr. Jimmy,
Hello.
while this tastes very good, it doesn't sustain you in any way. You're still hungry afterwards.
Okay, I'm going to find some relatively decent quality metal. I'm going to start chowing down.
Make a sharp roll for me.
I found a bag of nuts.
Nuts. You managed to find one
Still
of the
there for a
buildings.
metal cyber squirrel.
I steal them from a metal cyber squirrel.
You know what? As there's a diner there, I'm going to say you find in one of the cupboards a set of pans and some cutlery, and you
Ooh.
chow it down, and it's very strange because you go to take a bite out of the pan, and it's almost as if you're biting into a sandwich. There's barely any resistance from the pan at all. You just chomp it all the way down, and you feel sustained. So your sense of taste still exists, but you cannot sustain yourself on regular food anymore. You need to consume either metal or electronics of some kind.
Ooh, would electrics be spicy?
You leave my
I mean-
walkie-talkies alone.
I mean, you can try. Do you want to eat something electronic?
It's radio.
Is there anything
No.
available that's is not essential?
You've got a multitude of spare parts. I'm sure you can find a spark plug.
So I'm going to find a spark plug and I'm going to try it.
It's just gonna start picking random bits of metal up he finds, just eating it now, isn't he?
Let's see.
Make
See,
it look.
here's now the test of my DM skills. What would a spark plug taste like to a clockwork person?
Candy.
You know what? I'm going to say it's very zesty.
Ooh,
It's like your-
zest.
Yeah, it's like you're biting into like a very tart orange.
Ooh, I found my new favourite sweet treat.
Yes,
Mm, tart.
it's very tasty.
Where are my spark plugs?
So yeah, it's pretty much just all right, just get every time we go to go on a raid or whatever to pick up supplies, it's just like spark plugs. I need all the spark plugs.
Mhm.
I will pay you your weight in barter to provide me with spark plugs.
Man, see, now my brain is just fucking spiraling with what things could taste. So I'm wondering what would happen if Jimmy ate old world tech, like the futuristic type stuff. Like, how would that taste?
No.
You just find Jimmy nomming on one of the fucking power cells.
Just like, got an iPhone here.
Oh my god.
Oh no, iPhone would taste like garbage. That'd be like 3-week-old meatloaf.
Oh jeez.
That's what you get for eating Apple products.
Because iPhones are garbage. It's in a massive scam.
What about
by
Android? What would
corporation.
Android taste like?
Funny enough, they
Tiny.
taste like apples.
The finest steak.
Rotten
Yes.
apples.
Yes, actually,
Rotten
yes, we're gonna go with that.
Apple.
Androids taste like apples.
It's ironic.
I hope it's
Just-
Granny Smith. I love Granny Smith.
So yeah, you managed to gain some sustenance. You are fine. Nikita, you notice that your flares are there, but they are sort of like hanging back. And Smokey notices this, and he kind of like doled up like 2 bowls specifically for the flares.
Yeah, I was gonna ask do my flares get munch. Yeah.
So yeah, the flares kind of like take the bowls. To be very unsure as to how a bowl works. So they just kind of like just upend it into like open jaws and just like snake swallow the entire thing.
Let's see
Oh,
how
dear.
snap like I can do.
Jericho will try and confuse the flayers. When he's finished his bowl, he will put the bowl out on his head like a hat, and he will gesture for them to do so as well.
Both of the flares look down at the bowls, look at you, look at the bowls, and then like in
Look at
unison,
the bowl.
very
That's the
very slowly, put the bowl up, put it on their heads, and the oldest snork, the one that's been with you the longest, gives you a very
Is that a
shaky
flyer, isn't
thumbs
it?
up.
Jericho gives him a thumbs up and says, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And then he looks at Nikita and says, "That's what your snork's going to do forever from now."
Imagine if it goes down in lava, and the last thing like you see is the thumbs
Man,
up
why
just
would-
going into the
Why
lava.
would you do that?
Because Terminator references.
Cause go fuck yourself. That's what.
I'm not suggesting it happens. I'm just saying if it did happen.
Yeah, the
That's
flares
how
are
it
very
should go out.
appreciative of the meal. You're going to go back on the billboard, Nikita,
Yeah,
I believe.
fuck you guys. I'm going back on my billboard.
Yes. Your bowl
See you
hat wearing
guys.
flares
I'm
follow
going
you.
now.
Talking
They,
about
like-
my flares down in lava.
Hey!
They,
If that
they
ever
still haven't
happened,
taken
like-
the bowls off. They've still got the
That's
bowls on their
fine.
heads. And,
They
like,
can-
you notice that,
They
Nikita,
can-
you notice that, like, as your flares move, they are trying desperately to try and balance the bowls on their heads without them
It's-
falling off because they've
it's
got
like
it
when
in
you-
their brains that this is just a thing they have to do
No,
now.
It's like when you put a bowl or basket on an NPC in Skyrim.
I'll take them off and I'll explain to them best I can. That's not what you're doing. Jericho's just a fucking idiot.
Oh, okay. You managed to get the message across quite well. You are starting to get more used to communicating with your children, basically, because that's how they
My
see.
baby!
I was just fucking to them about babies.
Yeah, and yeah,
Jericho-
Is that you?
Jericho's going to put when the snorks go away, he's going to obviously take the bowl off. But whenever the snorks are in his presence from now on, he's going to keep that bowl in his backpack. And he's going to put the bowl on his head. And he's going to.
Do you know what I'm gonna
Listen,
do?
bowls, guy.
I am gonna set that bowl on fire.
Civil War of the Bowls.
So funny.
You will get a little bit of a warning from smokers, like, you probably shouldn't mess with them like that. They are still very violent creatures. If they find out that you're messing with them, they could quite possibly murder you.
I think this point Jericho just doesn't give a fuck.
That's what like Alex doesn't, because he's obviously gonna be like, retiring.
No,
from
but
Jericho.
he will say, "Yeah, I trust them not to kill me."
Oh, is that Jericho warming up to them finally? It's only took the entire time.
Character development.
Hey.
Yeah.
This is where we get back to Cold Court. Someone threatens one of the flayers, and the first one to react is Jericho, like, you don't fucking touch them. I'm the only one allowed to take the piss out of them.
Yeah. And then we high five and we say, "Bowl Bros."
Oh, bros.
Bowl pros. Jesus Christ. Why do I think that's going to be a thing now?
It's horrible. I'm laughing and I've got a horrible throat cough.
Get matching t-shirts and everything.
Bowl bros. 2 bros that wear bowls.
Right, so night has well and truly fallen. From where you are, Nikita, everything is still. The night is fairly clear and fairly calm. There's no threats around. There's no hidden snipers hidden anywhere
Yet.
that are keeping a watch on all of you, who I still don't know how the fuck that guy managed to maintain his stealth while all of you were just fucking walking around him.
I am still fucking furious about that. I hope you realise.
Just every time you walk past that billboard there where you are now, it's
I
like,
was so
roll a
close and
stealth
I
roll.
had
Take
no idea, and it makes me angry.
And the funny thing was, it's not like I hid him. He was there from second one.
I would
He was
like to point
always
out
there.
that towards the end of the thing, he did have a large circle around him and a question mark, exclamation mark.
But none of you ever voiced a question.
No. Honestly, I just thought it was something you forgot to leave off the GM layer.
I mean, yes, sometimes I do that, yes.
Tom's like, first time?
Yeah, that's like legitimate. But no, that was like that guy being there was absolutely intentional because I realised that particular character model blends in very well with that particular
Yeah,
bit of
well, I've
scenery.
got squiffy
It did.
fucking eyes.
It
I
did.
didn't stand a chance. And you can shush, Debs. Giggling.
Yep, night settles in, and everything is fine.
Yeah,
You
fix us
notice,
up peanut
Nikita,
gallery.
today's actually a very tonight is a very clear night.
I
Like
can see for miles.
there's very little clouds. You notice that because you've been around Cold Corpse and it's always been overcast and places like that for a while. You do notice like something very. It's the first time you're really seeing the night sky, especially through your new eyes, as it were, with your powers. The sky is very strange. It seemed like you're used to the stars staying in one place, but it seems like every so often they shift and like meld ever so slightly, as if like the heavens are being moved ever so slightly. But it doesn't feel like disconcerting in any way. It's just this is almost as if you're seeing the night sky for what it truly is for the first time. And both of your players seem very content with this. They are just chilling out next to you, just holding their bowls in their hands because they're not really sure what to do with them. Your oldest player, remember? Yeah, I'm gonna say your oldest player, having hung around you guys for so long and seeing Jericho have a fascination with putting things in his pockets, has like got the bowl and it's like trying to fit it in a pocket, but the pocket has a big hole in the bottom. So every time it puts bowls in, the bowl falls out the pocket. And it can't quite seem to grasp the fact that, like, why? What the fuck is this?
What sorcery is this?
What sorcery is this? Cutting back to the village, Helga is going to rejoin everyone inside, leave the guards for the night. The displaced beasts are going to patrol the village, so they're fine. As the night settles in, we're going to say the people in the village are Jericho, Jimmy, and Rasp. You do every so often catch glimpses of the beasts that answered Smokey's call. You do see them like out of the corner of your eye every so often, just basically circling the village.
Yeah.
Rasp, this brings you like a very good sense of comfort because you know these things. You know these things from the time you spend just as a child thing in like the shadows and the underways of Cold Corpse. So you've met these things before. You know what they are.
Yeah.
So the fact
And
that
they
they
help.
are like patrolling around and they are keeping you safe does make you feel a lot safer.
That helped me deal with the wolves one time, I think.
Oh, they did. Yes.
Yeah.
These things are no fucking joke, and they are not entirely mortal.
Oh.
So,
Give it. You're supposed to give it a couple of taps, man.
shh, you shut your face. So, I'll tell you what, between everyone in the village, I'm going to go for a quick cigarette quickly before we round things out. So have some role play. And I will be back.
Roleplay, eh? Right. So, Helga gets the whip.
I've still got my headphones on, you calm yourself down.
Jericho, sorry, you put on the maid outfit, didn't you?
What are you in this scenario, Rasp?
I don't know. Teacher.
The person in the corner with the wet wipes.
I
Oh my
think
God.
Jericho might show you the book.
Mm.
Or
The
you guys. And you might be like, look, it's the forces of balance. You see, this is you, the mechanic guy from the architect. This is you, the void. And then there's the other one, which Alex
I
can't
can't get
remember.
my circuits right though.
Well, you know. And then there's another one, but I can't remember that either. But it's here on the page.
Ew.
And see how they're all in balance? I think what this means is you're going to all have to fight against each other.
Nope. Sorry, I'm not into pet
Sorry?
farm.
Okay, sorry.
I can't be part of this conversation because I'm not. I'm on the billboard on it. Well, not alone. But...
Yeah.
I am not part of any of
It
this.
can take over walkie-talkie. It's like, shh, are you reading this? Scary lady.
You hear from Jimmy's just munching. You're not supposed to eat them.
But it's zesty.
Just go put that down.
Put that thing back where it came from. Also, healthy.
It's like,
Get back to cold crops. Every once in a while, Jericho's just going to be watching his radio stand with a flashlight, just watching out for Jimmy. You got spare radios. It's fine.
it's like that bloody Jimmy's been at my stores again.
Yeah,
Just
it's
running
gonna
out
be
with
the
a
all
phone
my
going, "Mad,
electronics."
yeah."
it's like the radio like version of like Rasp and Smokey's like place, just like entering his like pantry, except he's gonna be like entering your bloody like
Yeah.
tool house or something.
Yeah, he's got like a broom and he's just like, oh, get out of here. Come on. Jimmy's fucking away.
You're coming over to where Jimmy is, and it's just like, Jimmy, the oddest things happen. Someone's been hit in my garage. Oh, how unusual. Jimmy, why do you have all this
No.
tape on your
You
chin?
need. It's metal, so you need a spray bottle.
Oh, God.
No.
Look, Jimmy, I have a limited number of semiconductors in the building. There are probably a limited number of semiconductors in existence in this post-apocalyptic world. Will you stop eating them because they're spicy?
They taste like peri peri chicken.
Oh,
Oh,
peri peri chicken.
Stop
Nobody
it.
knows
Stand
what
up to
that
me,
is.
and I will not be denied.
I must be satiated. He just said.
Peri peri chicken is a thing you invented in your 500 years of torture. It never existed.
Yeah, well, that was peri peri chicken.
You don't know what happened to me in those 500 years. I did all sorts of things.
he went into Doctor Strange mode. It's just like saw different realities.
Yeah.
dear.
It all comes together. So does Helga. Sorry.
Fuck's sake.
Dang it! Now I'm craving peri peri chicken.
And Jericho's craving Helga.
Self-inflicted. No sympathy.
Oh, terrible.
You are.
But you love it.
Oh dear. Anyway, you three continue with conversations. I'm just going to
No,
be
I'm
up
busy
here
eating electrical
minding my own
devices.
business.
I'll flick through the page as it's like showing the. I'll just start flicking through the pages and stuff. Like, ooh, this
Pretty.
one's got pictures.
I don't know what it means, but pretty.
It's got pictures.
You can't read, child.
I can't read. I just like the pictures, man.
Well, look at this satanic image. Oh, look at this horrible thing. Well, there's a picture of the void just consuming everything. Oh, that's nice.
I remember that day. I was hungry.
Oh, there's a recipe here for Wow Wow sauce as well.
That was my sauce.
Oh my goodness! Ah,
Do you know what I just reminded myself of? You know how Jimmy's eating like tech and stuff now? It's that episode of Rick and Morty where they're escaping from all the other Ricks and they go through the different dimensions where there's things that eat like phones and stuff.
Right. I am back. So,
Ooh.
picking up from where we left off. Everyone's been chatting, everyone had last night, everyone bunkers down to sleep. Where is everyone sleeping?
I'm
In
with
the
the kid.
Taka.
I'm staying where I am.
I'm with Fenier's kids again.
And my
Yep.
babies.
I think Jericho will say goodnight to Helga, and he will go back to his bed, which
What?
it's quite a warm climate, isn't it?
It's relatively warm, yeah.
Yeah. So we're in a warm place, he tends to sleep on top of the Taka
Mhm.
in like a sleeping bag.
Is Jimmy inside the Taka? I couldn't remember.
Don't make it a thing.
Jimmy, as you're sleeping inside the Taka, this is very. Shut up, Pete. I'm not going to make it weird. This does feel.
Starts to rock.
This does feel very comfortable to you. Like,
Probably because I haven't actually slept properly for that one, apart from that one night. Again, 500
Yeah.
years torture.
And-
I'm going to be bringing it up for the next 500 years.
pretty much, yes.
It's almost like you got PTSD from it.
The Taka does like pick up on like the latent feelings you're having, and it sort of does its best to like, because you have like a symbiotic relationship with the Taka now, it does its best to sort of assuage your feelings. So you start to become plagued by nightmares, but it does start to fade through the night, and you do fall asleep, and you have a nice restful night. Jimmy, about halfway through the night, you are joined by Helga, and
No escape.
snuggles into you.
Sorry,
You are-
Jimmy or Jericho?
Jericho.
On top of your Taka.
Yes,
He's
you are
not
joined
in here.
by
You want to
Helga,
try the other tent?
and she does join you. Nikiza, you have a restful night, sleeping on the billboard. Somehow you make yourself comfortable. I don't know how, but somehow you manage it. Rasp, you are very much welcomed by Fenir and his wife.
Well, no, Fenier's not alive anymore,
I
is
was
he?
say Fenner's been dead, so if he was there, we'd be worried.
No, well, Fenir's wife and his kids. They, you are pretty much part of their family now.
Just his reanimated corpse just appears and snuggles into him.
The rest of the night passes.
Where's on me?
Rest of the night passes without incident. Not going to jump you all with bandits or anything like that. But no, you wake up the next day. It's a fine day. The survivors of Wolfvale, along with Helga, are getting together all their supplies, wrapping up sleeping mats and getting all the furs and that together, and they're putting them in the back of the Taka and back in the back of the Snortmobile. What is the allocation for the other two vehicles going to be?
Jericho still wants to stay in the passenger seat of the Taka.
Mm-hmm.
No, get in the BDSM mobile with your
BDSM mobile.
BDSM mobile. For fuck's sake.
I'm sure there are other drivers. He'd go in the armored jeep if you want.
That's up to you
That
guys.
looks like Jericho
get in the
will
red
drive.
Menace.
No, I want to drive the armored jeep. That's much more cool.
Fair compare.
Okay, so you're getting in the armored jeep. Then is anyone going to be taking the red car?
I guess I will.
Okay, you jump in that one then. Okay. Yep, you all jump in your cars. Everyone everyone else disperses themselves between the other cars. Let's say one of the guards rides on the armored car. The other one's going to jump on the back of the Taka. People of Wolfvale spread themselves out. Some of them in the Snortmobile, some in the Taka. And you all...
Some in the mini tack.
Yep, you all get back on the road. Much revving of engine.
Again.
In the
I
flare
can't
conveyor.
wait to get on the road again.
You peel out. As you leave, you get back on the road. You notice that the displacer beasts, the beasts from the meat hook, are keeping pace with you very easily.
That's cool.
They are not tied in any way, shape, or form. They are just nicely keeping pace with you. And we are going to shift back onto the overworld map.
Doom, 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 doom.
So, you are about a day's worth of travel away from Cold Corpse. So we're going to need driving rolls from people that are driving. So that's going to be Jericho, Jimmy, and Rasp, and actually Nikita.
What am I rolling?
Cool.
Cool is your driving rolls.
You know when we said
Jericho,
about
for fuck's
driving off a cliff? I'll sod it. Let's have a re-roll.
He was
There you go.
he was getting roadhead at the time.
She might not be in the car with
Goddamn,
me.
Pete.
Oh, you come on, Jared.
Apparently
We
she
all
was.
know she's gonna be in the car with you.
Sorry.
Yeah, you all get back on the road. Let's see. Yep, you managed to make pretty good time. You are back in familiar territory now with, I imagine, Jimmy probably leading the way in the Takataka. Because you are the main driver, you know where you're going. You managed to find the main road that connects pretty much everything. And you are on your way back to Cold Corpse. You are entering familiar territory now. Everything starts to look familiar, thankfully. And as you get back to Cold Corpse, Nikita, you are the first one to notice the smell of smoke.
Oh, for God's sake.
Are you going
It's
to
a
be picking up?
barbecue.
Are you going to be picking up the pace at all?
The housewarming pie.
I mean, yeah, probably.
I mean, do we have radio communicators to communicate to each other, or is she just sending?
Oh yeah, you've all got
Players to
radios.
leave.
Yeah, you've got
then
radios.
Oh, we've all got radios, right?
I'd let them know. Like, I smell smoke, and we should probably hurry the fuck up.
10-4, good buddy.
You all start to rev the engines and you pick up pace. You come to, because of like where Cold Corpse is, it's like built into like a cliff face. You come round a like around like a bluff, and expecting the worst, because the last time you came back to Cold Corpse and you smelled smoke, it was all kinds of nonsense.
It was on fire.
You see Cold Corpse as it was when you left it. But just outside the city is like a big fire pit. You can see like the outlines of like residents of Cold Corpse like dragging things and throwing them onto this big ass fire outside. And you would know this as this is standard procedure for what happens when a bandit attack happens. So like a bandit attack happens, you like, and if you guys win, you drag like all like the bodies outside, and you have like a mass like fucking crematorium of all the guys outside. So luckily, no attack has happened,
Fuck.
Yeah.
and you all get back to Cold Corpse. Shift you all to the Cold Corpse map.
God, it feels like forever since
Oh,
we've seen this.
God.
Map.
For the longest time.
Yes. As you get up to Cold Corpse, you notice that it's been very much built up. Like the wall outside has been reinforced. It's like a massive gate out the front now. You are actually challenged as you get closer. Like you are called out to, and you're like, "Oi, who fucking wait a minute? You're fucking Jimmy. What the fuck have you been?"
I imagine I've got my hood up, but they recognise attacker, so I'm just not going to draw attention to my new
The
form
fact
just
that you're
yet.
a mech.
Yeah, the gates are like you hear a fucking Jimmy, fucking back. Fucking outrageous. Gates.
I've got a question.
Yes,
quickly before we go in. What am I going to do about the flayers?
you'll find
If
out.
we keep them in the
They're in the flare conveyor, but I can't remember it being a covered vehicle. That was all.
I imagine. Well, actually, I imagine they would have jumped in with me in the red one.
Yes, they are in the back of the red one currently.
Okay.
The gates rumble open, and you enter. You notice that everything's pretty much completely fixed. From like, but bear in mind when you left this place, it was still recovering from the attack of the Controller Prime and all that nonsense. But the train you had has been retrofitted basically, and it has now become like it looks like sort of like a militia type thing that's like been built up around the wreckage of the train. And as you go through, everyone's kind of like watching you guys, and they start to get closer, and they notice that you've got like new people, so they're like a little bit hesitant about it, and you will all I imagine you'd like park up just like by the scrap heap where Jimmy and Rasp both have workshops, and your workshop people pile out. The helpers you have at New Radio 1, Mr. Jericho, also kind of come running up, and they're like, "Oh, we finished it. We got it ready. We got the radio thing set up. We've upgraded it. We've expanded our coverage. Loads. It's been good, man. Oh, where have you been? We've been trying to contact you on the radio."
And you are? No, he knows who they are.
Yeah. And everyone that's sort of like all the like the residents of Cold Court sort of like kind of gather around you, and as Smokey kind of jumps out the back of the Tack Attacker, all of them like collectively take a step back. Like they recognize this as Smokey, and obviously Nikita comes out. You now look drastically different than the last time they saw you. Rasp looks drastically different, and just the residents of Wolfvale kind of all like pile out of the cars they're in, but they're very unsure of what to do with themselves. And you notice the guards, that the last surviving of the bodyguards, are getting a little bit defensive. It's like, oh, who the fuck are these people? And as the flares jump out, just instinctively getting out of the back of the car, there's a slight degree of panic that starts to happen.
Oh dear.
They're not gonna hurt you. Calm your fucking tits.
So yeah, when Jimmy gets out, he will drop his hood and just, regard everyone and just be like, yeah, all right, things happen. Let's not make a big deal of it.
Oh, you lucky fuckers. Yeah, everyone's still very taken aback about what's happening. They're like, everyone's keeping their distance, but you notice that Smokey has immediately started to make a detour for the meat hook.
I'm just waiting to hear a bandit. What the fuck have you done?
He stomps up to the closed doors,
Bandit,
and
where's
he extends like a large metal hand towards towards the door handles. Sort of like pulls back a little bit.
Takes a deep breath and then just bellows out, "Bandit, you walking waste of oxygen!"
He turns back to all of you and goes, "Let's fuck with Bandit a little bit." He kicks the doors open. The doors fall these are big double doors that lead into the meat hook. He kicks them over with such force they fly open, hit the inside of the door frame, and basically pop out of their hinges.
Oh my god!
He walks in and goes, "Bandit! What the fuck have you been doing, you lazy little shit?" You hear it of like pans and just silverware and cutlery falling everywhere from the kitchen. Bandit comes like just screaming out and just like actually just goes like arse over tit as he comes running out of the kitchen and comes running up to Smokey, like stops dead like a foot from him. Goes, I thought you got you back. It's like, we got you back. And just like immediately hugs like Smokey's legs and starts crying. Smokey does like kind of like untangles the guy's like arms from around his legs, kneels down, looks Bandit dead in the face, and goes, "It's not that easy to get rid of me, boy. Come here, you little fuck," and gives him a big hug as well. And we are all back. You are now back. Smokey takes up his place back at the meat hook and actually takes on a new look. So we're going to do the thing that I've been asking people to do in the Discord, which is we are going to pass some time now. Smokey is now changed his form. He now looks like this.
Oh, I thought we weren't doing that
I
until
love
after
it.
today's
I might steal it for Cyberpunk.
Yes.
Chris, I thought we were doing that after today's session. Sorry.
No, we're
Oh,
doing it now.
okay.
25 minutes,
Well,
man. We can do it.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Don't mind.
you do have time to think because I'm going to do Nikita and Jimmy first.
Oh, I was about to say, does Jericho want to go before me?
We're going to do Nikita first because Nikita is going to be the one that isn't going to be very comfortable in Cold Corpse. After the first week or so, Nikita starts to feel uncomfortable here. and you remember that cave you woke up in
Mm-hmm.
a little while ago, and you realise that no matter how much you try in Cold Corpse, you and the Flayers are never really going to have a place here. You're always going to be shunned. People are always going to be wary of you. They're always going to be wary of your Flayers.
More wary of me.
Yes. So you decide that you want to go live in that cave. It is a stone's throw away from Cold Corpse. It's still very close, and you go there and you basically set up home there. Your Flayers seem a lot happy there. You seem like you feel a lot happier there as well. Jimmy, you kind of start to feel the same way. People are always wary of you. They're always shooting you distrusting glances. So
The fuck are you looking at?
Jimmy decides that it's best that he sets up shop somewhere else. So you gather your crew from your workshop, and pretty much unsure of where to go, you just go and hang out with Nikita for a bit, and you and her get talking, and you decide that, well, Nikita needs help making this cave a home and maybe extending it, making it bigger, and you have the tools and the capability to do it, so why don't the two of you join forces? So you end up, over the next couple of weeks, basically making a home for you and Nikita. Your helpers are a little bit apprehensive about this at first, but after spending a bit more time with Nikita and the Flayers and you, they come around to the idea and they start helping you. So you two are currently in the process of making this hole in the side of a mountain a home, and you build like a couple of shelters, you build like a few barricades and stuff like that. Jericho, what are you doing when you get back to Cold Corpse? What is Jericho's end goal?
He'll obviously get back talking to his crew and Three Dog, and ask them what's been going on. Since when did Cold Corpse have a massage parlor? And like, I think what he wants to do also depends on what the people from Wolfvale want to do. Whether they want to stay and integrate.
The people of Wolfvale are a little bit resistant to integrate at first, but they basically sort of cling to Helga as their new leader. And as she's hanging around you a lot and she starts taking interest in what you do here, sort of the area around New Radio 1 sort of becomes like a little like mini Wolfvale.
We got our first suburb of Little Wolfvale.
Yeah, they start to build homes there. The people of Cold Corpse are a little bit resistant to this at first, but the people of Wolfvale are very friendly people, and they start to teach the people of Cold Corpse like new ways to hunt, where to look for food.
And we did bring those a few bits of those things like potato, fresh fruit and vegetables that we didn't have. We could grow.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure we've got some livestock as well, so we can at least start off a sheep flock or something.
Yes, some actual cultivation starts happening inside of Cold Corpse due to the people of Wolfvale. When that starts happening, and with this new nutrition added to the Meat Hooks menu, people of Cold Corpse are like, hell's yeah, these Wolfvale people are all right by our books. And the people of Wolfvale, especially the guards, the two remaining bodyguards, start teaching the people of Cold Corpse how to better defend themselves, and start a training type thing as well. So they are newly integrated in.
I think after that, Jericho will just he will continue with his job of broadcasting to the wasteland. Maybe he'll settle down and try and build some sort of small annex over the radio station. He will invite Helga to join if she does not wish to. That is fine. But he will say, "This is where I am supposed to be." So he will invite her to join with him.
she does join you. In fact, you and her have a very good relationship. There's some stumbling blocks. You guys have arguments. You guys have differences of opinion, as every normal couple does. But over time, over the next few months, you actually become a very solid couple. You become pretty much the backbone of the adaptation of the Wolf-Vale elites, integrating into Cold Corpse. You become almost their de facto chief by being with Helga, and they just look to you and Helga for guidance. Helga starts to get into what you're doing. Every so often, you know what? Actually, yeah, let's do a thing. At one point, she offers to actually broadcast for you. At one point, and she does surprisingly well.
Welcome to Viking Radio.
Oh no! We don't like this, do we? No, she can't be taking over more from me. But you know, he will allow her. But this is he's not.
This is
secretly
Viking hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at the
She's
Viking
getting the late night time slot. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I'm going to go take a nap.
Only
I
Jericho
thought
does
you
prime
were
time.
getting the late
I'll
night
slot
time.
her in. Oh, I bet you will.
Yeah. You and her
that
have a
was going
very
to be my
solid
joke.
You and
Oh,
her have
sorry.
a very solid
Sorry.
relationship, and after a few weeks, yes, we're going to go this direction with it. A couple of months after you've been back at Cold Corpse, Nikita, your little family has started to grow. You've had snorks, you've had flares, you've had skin gliders just kind of show up in your cave looking for a place to belong, looking for someone to take care of them. Your little two-man horde has gone from Riley and your other flare. You now have 25 snorks, 13 flares, and 10 skin gliders.
Yeah, the babies.
Making a
And
whole army.
you have one in particular. About a month after you got back, a particularly large flare turns up with about a dozen snorks is back and a couple of other flares. Like, this is the biggest, meanest looking flare you've ever fucking seen. This guy looks like a fucking tank on legs, and he challenges you for leadership.
No way.
It's playtime.
And you beat the brakes off of this boy.
Naturally.
You beat the absolute shit out of him, and he recognizes you as the Hunter Queen, and
My queen!
he becomes one of your
Queen.
most
My
dedicated
wife.
followers.
Yeah.
And so a little bit after that has happened, you're chilling in your cave, which between you and Jimmy, you've got like a few shelters knocked up. You've, extended the cave. You've excavated a few tunnels, built a couple of sub chambers. All good news. Riley, your oldest flare, comes up and wakes you up and tells you that Helga is here and she wants to talk to you.
Okay.
As you go out into basically the main chamber, you notice Helga is standing in the middle of it, and she looks extremely nervous.
Okay.
You get to talking to her for a bit, and there's something she wants to talk to Jericho about, but she's unsure, and she doesn't want to talk to the other women of her tribe about this because she's nervous. But she trusts you more than any other woman she's known. She trusts you the most because you are the strongest woman she's ever known. And she's afraid.
Right.
As you're talking to her, because of how your powers have developed, you are very, very acutely aware of everything going on inside of your cave. You can pick up on different emotions from your snorks, from your flares, from your skip gliders. You are your cave, your home itself is almost an extension of your own self.
That's cool.
As you're talking, you hear Helga's heartbeat. And you hear a very quiet heartbeat as well.
Oh,
Quiet, rapid heartbeat.
no.
Oh,
Baby Jericho!
oh my!
Helga confesses she is pregnant, and she doesn't quite know how to break it to Jericho.
Oh.
That's going to be the most
I mean-
human Nikita's ever been in her life.
Yeah. Baby Jericho.
God damn you, Jericho.
She's going to turn around and says, "I don't know. Have you tried hitting him?"
Both of them can
Punch
relate to
letters
that.
into his face.
I.
I mean, do you give her any specific advice?
I mean, like it's not like something that he's very good with. So she will just tell him.
Okay.
There's not much else she could suggest. She might be female, but she's fucking an emotionless female, pretty much.
Turns around, she's like, "Man up, bitch."
You and her have a nice little chat.
Yeah.
And she eventually nods and says, "Well, I should probably tell him. Let's do this in a place that means the most to all of you." And you go and fucking, I don't know, grab Jimmy by his fucking clockwork ear and go, "This fucking thing, come here."
We're going on an adventure.
Rasp, you are. Yeah, what is Rasp doing during all this?
Okay, well, what is the gap? What is the time period? Because I want to know.
This is, you can go from a week to 3 months.
Well, because what I've got planned, it's probably lengthy, so I'm going to say it took like 3 months or so.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so, I mean, like, going off of what people have been allowed to do, bless you, by the way, I hope it's okay for me to, like, kind of say this. Is it alright if Rasp, like, obviously she's been living with the kids and Fenya's wife, but she's also been busy with her garage, but she's also invited her like child Fen members, like the remaining ones, to like come into the garage and like kind of help like teach them the roles and stuff.
Yeah.
But she's actually been working on a new blueprint, and it's a bit like like how Iron Man works on his suits type of thing.
Okay.
And this blueprint and if you come into the garage, you'll see like a frame, and the frame is like and it's obviously this is going over the time period, like so you see it kind of pieced together. And it's basically like an APC/tank kind of thing being crafted. And on the blueprint, she's written a name on it, and it says the Fenrir.
Oh.
I like that. Yeah, we're gonna run with
I was
that.
sitting there very skeptical, but I heard the name and I was just something like, "Yeah, no, I'm on board, 100% on board."
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So like,
I'm gonna say
obviously-
you have the blueprint.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say because basically you have where you and Jimmy originally constructed your garages. They're at the scrap heap, which does have the train as well and all the futuristic gear that was in that.
Yeah.
And now Jimmy has left. You basically have free run of the scrap heap. So bringing in the your child things and your other two guys that you originally had for your workshop, you have the blueprint. You've kind of got the basic chassis down.
Yeah.
But it's still very much in pre-production. It's not going to be anywhere close to done anytime soon. But you are like you at least have the bare bones of a project.
I hope I get to use it though in like the next part. That'd be great.
I mean, maybe.
I think it would take a long time to make one of those.
Oh yeah.
This is going to be a very, very extended project.
Right.
This is not something you're going to be able to knock together inside of a few months.
Of course not. Can I also like, as she's scrapping from the train? I mean, like obviously, this is up to you. But I haven't had a chance to run it by you or anything. But can it even be like she's been managing to like find some extra like fins for suits and stuff? the charge things.
You haven't been able to find any more power cores. There were
Okay,
like all the power cores you have are the ones you found in the train.
right. Oh, okay. Right.
Jericho
Yeah.
will donate you his suit and power core.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you. Okay. All right. So in that case, yeah, she takes the core, and she'll be using the suit to weld it into where the cannon seat will be. For the tank turret bit.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you get to that, yeah, and you've been working on this for a while. You've got the blueprint down. You think you've got it figured out. I'm gonna say you will have to have help from Jimmy for this.
Yeah.
Jimmy's
yeah.
gonna have to help you with this because he's more experienced than you, and also he has his funky abilities going on, so he might be able to like push you in the right direction.
She brings him in for night shifts because obviously she knows how uncomfortable he is with the locals. So she
appreciate that.
Yeah, she only brings him in at night and just runs her through all the designs because she knows he's got the better. He's got the better. No, he's got the better skills.
I was originally going to change my playbook to the hard holder. I think instead I'll change it to savvy. That speaks more to me now. So yeah, I'm.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Start really focusing on inventing and.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, because you could be like Tony Stark in a way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
So I've relocated my workspace into the
cave,
the snort cave.
Yes.
So I've got a few. I've still got my crew in there, so yeah, they probably come in and come out because I imagine they're not too comfortable staying around with it in the snort cavern.
Yeah.
So I might have I might have the garage there, and I've got a personal workshop here as well. So I flip between the two.
Mm-hmm. That would actually bring us very nicely to what Mr. Jimmy is doing.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry. Next few months. No, don't be sorry. That's good. What is Mr. Jimmy doing?
Okay, so yeah, obviously I feel a lot safer with Nikita and the Snorks. It's obviously going to be a lot safer grabbing my valuable shit. So I'm going to be building up a workshop to invent and improve myself as well physically. Probably also use it to tap into the maelstrom because obviously now I'm part of the maelstrom. I'm going to look into it to kind of find a way to defend myself, Nikita, and the Snorks, as well as potentially going on the counter-offensive when the time comes. So, all right, choose my workshop. It is a garage, skilled labor, junkyard of raw material, which is next door, and weird-ass electronica. Or receiver, transmitters and receiver, relic of the golden age must be. Yeah, no, I've just got to look. I've got junkyard of raw materials, weird ass electronica, and machining tools. So I've got a garage in Cold Corps already, so I keep my non-taka in there.
Yep.
So
I just thought. Sorry.
So how does Nikita? How does the cave work? Is it like where we saw the Snorks before, like some kind of shantytown sort of thing?
Yeah, I imagine that's how we'd have it, and we're like, obviously you'd get your own space.
I would probably drag in a couple of cargo containers, fuse them together, and have my workshop in there.
Yeah. Sounds good. And we obviously have to make a big enough space for the taka to be in.
So I imagine it's quite a bit. How big is the cave? Is it like cavern, cave, or what? Hole in the wall?
It starts off as quite small, but as time goes by, you guys realise you need more space. So you kind of like hollow out the cave, you make it a bit bigger, you make a few tunnels, make a few antechambers. If you need a bigger space for you and the taka, you will obviously realise that you need to make that space. So you sort of make it bigger as you go.
I imagine between with me and the Snorks, we do power through quite fast. I'm an invincible machine. They are unrelenting creatures of the maelstrom.
Yeah, and don't forget you do have taka there as well to help you with the heavy lifting. So
okay. So I've changed my character to new type. I am the Savvy Head. I improve my weird plus. Okay, no. I don't know when I get new moves, so we'll figure that out. Yeah. Well, I don't know if the whole thing resets. We'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm. For the two of you, Jimmy and Nikita, cohabitation is not easy because you are two diopposed powers in Maelstrom. It's not easy. There is almost constant conflict between the Taka and any snorks and flares that show up. But between the two of you, you manage to balance it out.
Imagine one of my first. Sorry.
And over time, you, Jimmy, with you voicing that you want to create devices that negate things, and you want to create defensive things, you do come up with a series of devices that do help with that. And you create, let's say, you create a little clockwork watch type device, which when you and Nikita are holding them, they sort of balance out your powers so that you can cohabitate together. And so that the Taka and Snorks and Flares don't randomly start to fight each other. Because that was a problem you guys were starting to have.
Yeah. One of the moves I have is Reality Spraying Edge. Some component in my workshop or some arrangement of components is uniquely receptive to the Psychic's Maelstrom. I could probably... I could try... So with that, I could try and create a nullifying field, if that makes sense. So basically just in the area of our cave, I've got something that produces a field where when the Snorks and the Taka are in that field, they're less confrontational.
As you start to work on this, and days turn into weeks, weeks turns into months, you start to get a better understanding of how your own powers and Nikita's powers work. So you can actually help Nikita maintain better control of her horde, and you have a more deeper understanding of your connection with the Taka as well. You understand that the Taka starts to go from a very animalistic, impulse-based creature that it has always been, because it has always acted on your emotions. So the angrier you've been, the more likely it has been to go fucking spare. It becomes more controlled, and it starts to take an identity of its own. And it's very much in line with yours. And it doesn't act entirely independently of you, but it does start to take independent acts of its own. It's nothing destructive or anything like that, but it will occasionally do things without you asking, or it will be tinkering with something, or if you're working on a project, for instance, and you go to take a rest, you will wake up and find the Taka continuing your progress on that.
Just imagine this giant transformer monstrosity just sat on its haunches with this, just holding something in it tiny, and just go like a tiny screwdriver between his two giant fingers.
Yes. Yeah, the Taka can be surprisingly delicate.
Can I ask if I can do a certain thing over the time?
Yes,
Because I
what would you like to
imagine,
do?
if possible, she would try and look into more of the whole Hunter Queen thing, because she never really got any answers.
It's difficult for you to figure it out because basically you don't have a mentor or anyone to really teach you about it. But you actually learn from the Flayer that initially challenged you for Alphaship that the Hunter Queen is sort of a myth in the sort of Maelstrom aspect that the Snorks and the Flayers inhabit. It is sort of like the ultimate expression of what it means to be part of the Devourers. The Devourer is a creature that's going for uniting the entire world in an animalistic primal nature, and the Hunter Queen is sort of the embodiment of that. Is the
I'm not
ultimate.
sure if that's good or bad.
It is hinted at that. I mean, obviously, this the Flair you're talking to is like the Flair equivalent of a fucking meathead Chad, so he doesn't really know much. But the information he gives you leads you to think that there is something more to your powers, and that the Hunter Queen isn't just a title, that there is something more to that.
Okay, so that's something else I'll have to explore it next.
Yes.
Whenever we come back.
see.
Hmm.
So
I
we're
was
going to
going
jump
to say,
forward. Yeah. Okay. Go.
also,
Yeah.
that part of my design plans as well for this APC tank then is what part of the ammunition. She's one of her major bombs is actually designed that to be when it's fired, it's meant for Jakabaka when they go for him because I imagine he's going to be like our end goal.
Mhm.
So hopefully it'll be ready by then. The design is going to be the wolf veil, and it's going to have if Alex doesn't mind, Helga as a pin-up girl on the side of this like missile shell.
You'd have to ask Helga.
Yeah,
Helga.
she'd go to her and say, "This is meant to represent vengeance for wolf veil and what Jakabaka did to your people. Is this okay?"
Mm.
And she's shown her the blueprint and everything, and going over the design with her a little bit, and how the shells she wants to look, and how she wants the pin up of her on the shell.
We will come
Helga's
to that.
Fury.
Yeah, we'll come to that a bit later. I'll have to decide about that.
Oh, it'd be awesome.
Is there anything
wouldn't it?
else? Is there anything anyone else wants to do over the next 3 months?
I think Jericho, having gone back to his job on the radio station, would probably take a kind of go like a ham radio survey of his listeners as to what he should call this new child once he finds out about it.
Mhm.
And after the after the survey comes back as Snorky McSnorkface, he initially ignores it entirely and says he's going to name the child. Now, am I right in saying that the chief's name was Parrot?
Parrot.
Because that's what it says on here. But what was his name, if it's not that?
Actually, what was the chief's name? Hang on one second. Notes. His name was Chakar.
Okay, so he suggests to Helga that they call the child whatever name, whatever boy or girl, Gregor Chakar.
Oh, Greco Chakar. Oh.
References.
And then I think he just happily slips into retirement. Well,
Very
not
nice.
retirement, but he slips into his work.
Well, imagine just not going out anymore, just sticking to the radio. He can get other people to do his work. Because, he's a family man now.
Yes.
So, how the pregnancy is revealed is basically Smokey turns up on Jericho's doorstep and just basically goes, "You're going to come with me, lad. There's someone you need to hear." And just kind of pulls you out and takes you into the meat hook, and you find Nikita, Jimmy, Grasp, Helga, and both the bodyguards and quite a substantial portion of basically everyone in town already in the meat hook. And Helga reveals the fact that she is with Charles.
Ta-da!
I'd like to know how Jericho reacts to that.
I mean, he's probably not surprised.
We've been doing it a lot.
Yes. And this is a cause for much celebration because children don't get born a lot here. Like, it's not a thing that happens very often, and when it does happen, it is a cause for celebration. Everyone busts into a massive celebration. There's like food, there's streamers, there's just all kinds of just mass celebration throughout the entirety of Cold Corpse. But Nikita notices Smokey seems a bit held back, as if he's having a sort of conflicting emotion. And as you watch him, you see him go from, he flickers from being Smokey to the Chief, back to Smokey, back to the Chief. And he's conflicted. But he's still happy for Jericho, and he's happy for Helga, and he's happy for all of you. Smokey seems a little bit withdrawn for the next month or so. He's, to everyone else in Gold Corps, he's still the old Smokey. He's got big ass fucking metal arms, but he's back to the way it was. Everything's back to the way it was before all this shit happened. People at Cold Corps have welcomed the survivors of Wolfvale. Jericho is now retired with Helga to take care of her while she's pregnant. I imagine Jericho is. Oh, would Jericho be overprotective? Would he be like an overprotective father, or would he let Helga kind of get on with it?
What do you mean?
Well, would you be buzzing around her, telling her to put stuff down, don't exert yourself?
I imagine with the relationship dynamic, Jericho will be doing what he's fucking told.
Yes.
I could picture he tries at the start and then he learns very quickly to just leave her.
Yeah, everything's going well. The Horde commune that Nikita is building is going well. You have Snorks turning up every so often. You have a few flares turning up every so often. Jimmy, you haven't had Nightmare for a while. Everything seems to be going really well for you. You are creating devices to help. Like the Taka seems content. Your like in fact even your helpers are doing fine. Like they seem to be coming around more. They get more comfortable being around you, being around the Taka, being around all the Snorks and Flares. Rasp, you are like business is booming for you. You are making good progress with your blueprint. Your child gang are like helping out. They are learning. They're doing fantastic. And one night, you are all in the meat hook, and you're all just hanging around, chatting. There's no one else in the meat hook except for Nikita, Jimmy, Jericho, Rasp, Flare 1, Flare 2, Helga, a couple of the bodyguards, Bandit. And you're all chatting, and the doors open, and a tall, slender individual walks in, dressed impeccably well for the wasteland. And he looks at you all, locks eyes with Smokey, and says, "Well now, haven't you all built a nice home for yourself here?"
Instantly on alert.
Yeah.
Is this Jack?
Smokey looks back at the guy and goes, I wonder how long it would take for you to show up. Why don't you take a seat, Mr. Jakar? All of you know Jakar as Jaka Baka's emissary.
Oh, like the mouth of
This
Sauron.
is the guy that gets sent when you've really fucked up.
So basically, what you're saying is we kill him.
We pan out from this meeting, up over Cold Corpse. There's a line of cars surrounding Cold Corpse
Fuck's sake.
with black-clad, body-armored individuals bundling out, surrounding the area. And we pan away. And we're going to do a time skip. Looking up at the sky. Stars wheel. There's a sun, stars, sun, stars, sun, stars. 2 weeks earlier, we pan up on the map to the north, in Bandit Country. You see a bandaged, cloaked individual with a staff walking through a camp that's straight up out of a nightmare. There's metal-clad bandits, people with metal stapled into their very flesh, stamping around. There's tents made of human flesh, adorned everywhere, a massive camp filled with debauchery and cannibalism all over the place. In the very center is a massive dais of black iron, and on top is a throne. As the robed figure walks through the camp, seemingly everyone ignores him, or at least makes a very concerted effort to stay out of his way. There's a brief flicker in the air, and escorting this robed, bandaged figure are two massive wolves, walking like men, grinning like psychopaths.
Oh my god.
As the robed figure reaches the dais on the throne, there's two figures on one side of the throne, just messed up, flayed individuals, hooks and chains in their skin, pulling their skin back in grotesque abominations. And they grab a crank and start. The throne rotates to face you all, and you see a figure that is frighteningly similar to Smokey. It is a metal-clad barbarian, a man who looks like he stepped out of a nightmare and loved every second of it.
Jesus Christ.
He's clad in armor with a massive mace on one hand of the throne. Picks up the mace, stomps down the dais, towering over the robed form. And he bends down towards the robed form, smiles with a mouth filled of sharpened metal teeth. And what do you want, Twisted One? Why do you come here to my camp? Your flesh will taste nice to my people. Speak your piece now. The robed figure looks up. Lord of bones, Lord of blood, taker of organs.
Oh God.
I have come to offer you a deal. The camera pans out slightly. You don't hear what words are exchanged between these two. At the end of the exchange, the armoured figure that looks like Smokey if he was thrown through a meat blender tosses back his head and laughs like a blood-drunk psychopath.
Oh, Jesus.
Slams the mace into the ground. You have a deal. Let's go hunting for the cold corpse brew. Let us drink. And with a pulse of energy ripples out from this guy, and the entire camp falls into a debauchery of bloodletting and cannibalism.
Jesus Christ.
Yummy.
The robed figure slowly turns and walks out of the camp, being shadowed by the two humanoid wolves. The final piece moves. Let's see what the end game brings. And that's where we're going to end.
No.
The last thing you hear is just a hammer and Rasp pounding on a blueprint, like ding, ding.
Rasp and Jimmy Jag just working this thing together. Something we just pause for a second and just like, I feel off to you. I'm sure it's fine.
Don't worry about it. It'll buff out. The last thing you hear, it'll buff out. Ding, ding. That's our new thing. It'll buff out.
It'll buff out.
That so good.
We are going to leave that.
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to stop recording then, you prick.
Let's come back to this.
You're listening to New Radio 1, your little jukebox in the wasteland. Those were our top stories. You know they say that no news is good news, but I think my program would be awfully dull if that were the case. Boy, the wasteland is just a fascinating place, isn't it? You never know what's going to happen next. You know, sometimes the journey beats the destination, and especially if your spurs go jingle, jangle, jingle, and you meet some nice gals along the way. That's all for now. I'm signing off. Just kidding.
Well, hello there. Won't you all join me by the fire? We'll have a quick sit down and a little chat. It's me, Chris, the architect of Apocalypse World, and we are done with this adventure. And while I am sad to see it go, we will be revisiting this adventure in the coming times because there are some storylines that need sorting out. However, I would like to take this little brief moment at the end of the video to thank my players for joining and having fun in the world that we helped build together. This world would have been nothing without them, without their participation. I could not have made the world I did without them making up insane bullshit on the fly that I just ran with. It would take me too long to sit here and recount all the inspiration they gave me for everything I came up with. So I'd like to take this moment at the end of the video to thank them all for joining in. And pretty soon, there's going to be something new starting. In the next few weeks, me and my friends are going to be working on a continuation of an adventure I did the first time I got into DMing. It's going to be extremely good. We've concocted some ideas and I've gone off the rails in building an insane world for them to have fun in. We're going to have players of old and some new faces, so I hope to see you all there. Once again, for the last time, we'll see you all next time in Apocalypse World. And as always, roll high, fellow nerds, and good night.